Paul says Jones isn't ducking anyone and it's all a matter of getting the UFC to pay their heavyweight champion what he's worth. UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones is getting support from an unlikely place, YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. Paul built his combat sports reputation up by beating over the hill UFC fighters and antagonizing Dana White every chance he could get. Jones and White are firmly on the same team right now as the UFC CEO defends a decision to have Bones face Stipe Miocic next instead of interim champ Tom Aspinall. So we shouldn't be surprised that the problem child, who would prefer you call him El Gallo, these days, is trying to drive a wedge between them. And how is he doing it? By challenging the UFC to pay Jones what he's worth to stick around for Aspinall. Jon Jones doesn't dodge anyone, Paul wrote on X, formerly Twitter. He knows exactly what he's doing. Show him the money, that real money. Not that, spin the narrative, money. Him versus Aspinall is massive as it hits two big PPV markets. $25 million guaranteed plus PPV seems about right. That's Deontay Wilder money, and the last time White suspected Jones was aiming for that it resulted in negotiations so acrimonious that Jon relinquished the light heavyweight title and sat out for 3 years. The funny thing is Jones claims he never asked for that much, he just wanted the UFC to renegotiate his pay for a move up to heavyweight. But the UFC is so focused on maintaining an iron grip on fighter pay that they let Jones bench himself rather than even discuss a raise. Hell of a way to treat the greatest of all time. That was in 2020, which feels like a long ago right now. These days Jones and White are on the best of terms, with Dana declaring Jon the undisputed GOAT and pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the UFC. Jones returned the favor, dubbing White the GOAT of business. You put Dana White in a business meeting with any man on this f***ing planet, there's only one man coming out on top, Jones wrote. Real recognize real. The relationship is easy enough to maintain while their interests are aligned. Both men are locked on having Jon Jones vs. Stipe Miocic go down in November at Madison Square Garden. But what happens after that if Jones wins and the UFC has to negotiate his next fight? All this retirement talk is a great way to say, pound sand unless you drive a Brinks truck up to my new mansion. Will Jon still be Dana's P4P #1 if he demands even a fraction of Jake Paul's suggested $25 million purse to keep fighting?